Hello everyone, I'm Margaret. I'm 72 years old, I live alone, and I want to tell you about the year I finally stopped spending my entire weekend cleaning. For most of my adult life, the pattern was the same. Monday through Friday, the house would drift. Small things would pile up, dishes would accumulate in the sink, surfaces would gather their collection of objects, and I would manage it just enough to get through each day. Then Saturday would arrive, and I would spend the better part of the morning cleaning and organizing and resetting everything to the state I wanted it in. Then Sunday I would rest and feel relieved, and on Monday the drift would begin again. What made it worse was that living alone, there was nobody to share the work with. No one to say, I will take the bathroom if you take the kitchen. Nobody to help move things or do the laundry or wipe down the surfaces. Just me, my house, and the accumulation of a week of daily living. I spent several years trying different approaches. I tried cleaning a little every day, but I would get distracted or tired. I tried hiring someone to come in once a month, which helped for about a week before everything was back to where it had been. I tried ignoring the problem entirely and found that the house got clean about 3 times a year, whether it needed it or not. What finally worked was not a dramatic change. It was a series of small adjustments, each addressing one specific reason why the cleaning was not getting done or not staying done. These are those adjustments, and I want to share them honestly because they have genuinely transformed my relationship with my own home. Tip number 1, decide what actually matters most to be clean and focus there first. The breakthrough for me came when I stopped trying to keep everything equally clean all the time. I had been spreading my limited time and energy across every room and every task in my home, which meant nothing ever got properly clean because I was always doing a little of everything and finishing none of it. I sat down one afternoon and asked myself honestly, what are the 2 or 3 areas of my home that, when clean, make me feel like the whole house is under control? The answer came quickly: the kitchen and the bathroom. When my kitchen counter is clear and wiped and the sink is empty, the whole house feels manageable, even if other areas are not perfect. When the bathroom is fresh and tidy, I feel like I am living in a well-kept home. So that is where I put my attention first, consistently. The kitchen and the bathroom get daily attention before anything else gets weekly attention. The results showed up within a week. My house began to feel consistently cleaner, even though I was spending less total time cleaning, simply because I was spending it on the right things. If you live alone and try to keep everything equally clean, ask yourself the same question. Which 2 rooms, when clean, make the whole house feel clean? Start there. Every day. Tell me in the comments, which room in your home, when clean, makes you feel like everything is under control? I am genuinely curious whether most people answer the same way I did, or whether it varies more than I think. Tip number 2, use one cleaning spray for almost everything. I want to talk about cleaning products because this was an area where I was creating significantly more complexity and cost than I needed to. I had a different spray for every surface: a bathroom spray, a kitchen spray, a glass cleaner, a wood cleaner, a tile spray. All of them stored in various locations around my home, most of them partially used, most of them requiring me to remember which product went where. I now use one spray for virtually everything in my home, and I make it myself. White vinegar, water, and a small amount of dish soap in a spray bottle. This combination cleans counters, tiles, bathroom surfaces, the inside of the refrigerator, the stove top, and most other hard surfaces without leaving residue or chemical smell. For anything that needs a little more abrasion, I use baking soda. My cleaning cupboard went from 14 products to 4 things. The physical space it freed up was noticeable. The mental space was more significant. If you are maintaining a home alone and still managing a full collection of specialized products, the simplification is worth the transition. Try one multi-purpose spray for 2 weeks and notice whether you miss the specialized ones. In my experience, you will not. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe now. I share practical, honest advice about keeping a home clean and organized, specifically for people in this chapter of life, every single week. I would love for you to be here. Tip number 3, spread the cleaning across the week with a simple schedule. This was the change that did more than anything else to eliminate the Saturday cleaning marathon from my life. Before I had a schedule, my cleaning was what I think of as reactive. I cleaned things when they were visibly dirty or when I was motivated, which was inconsistent and left me constantly catching up rather than maintaining. A cleaning schedule sounds more complicated than it is. Mine is a simple piece of paper with 5 days of the week and 1 or 2 specific tasks assigned to each day. Monday, I clean the bathroom. Tuesday, I wipe down the kitchen properly. Wednesday, I do laundry and put it away the same day. Thursday, I vacuum and mop. Friday, I deal with any clutter that has accumulated and do a general reset so that the weekend is free. Each of these individual tasks takes between 10 and 20 minutes when done consistently, rather than saved up until they require a larger effort. The bathroom cleaned weekly never gets to the state where it needs a deep scrub. The kitchen surfaces wiped twice a week never accumulate the grease and grime that makes kitchen cleaning a major project. The floors vacuumed weekly stay at a level that is maintained rather than rescued. The key insight is that the total time spent cleaning across the week is significantly less when it is done in small, regular sessions than when it is saved up for a large session. A bathroom cleaned weekly in 10 minutes takes about the same total time in a month as 2 deep cleans, but it produces better results and leaves no Saturday morning dread. Tell me in the comments, do you currently have a cleaning schedule? Or do you clean reactively when things seem to need it? I ask because I think this is the single change most likely to make a real difference if you have not tried it. And I am curious how many people are already doing it versus how many are still cleaning the way I used to clean. Tip number 4, clutter is the enemy of a clean home, and decluttering is cleaning. I used to think of decluttering and cleaning as 2 completely separate activities. Cleaning was mopping and scrubbing and wiping. Decluttering was a separate, occasional, daunting project. What I understand now is that they are the same activity seen from 2 directions, because clutter is what makes cleaning hard, slow, and discouraging. Think about what it means to clean a surface that has 12 objects on it. You have to move 12 objects, wipe the surface, and replace 12 objects. Then do it again next time. Now think about cleaning a surface that has 2 objects on it. The physical effort and the time are both dramatically reduced. The result looks better. and the surface stays cleaner longer because there is less to accumulate around. Every flat surface in my home is a potential clutter surface. The kitchen counter, the entry table, the bathroom vanity, the bedside table, the coffee table, the dining table. Each one of these has the capacity to hold objects that do not belong there. And each one that does hold those objects becomes harder to clean and contributes to the general feeling of disorder that makes a home feel difficult to maintain. My approach to clutter as a solo person is simple and ongoing. I go through one drawer or one shelf or one surface every week and ask honestly, does what is here belong here, and am I using it? If the answer is no to either part, the object moves, either to a more appropriate home in the house or out entirely through donation or disposal. This is not a one-time project. It is a continuous habit that keeps the volume of my possessions at a level my space can comfortably hold and my energy can comfortably maintain. The decorative objects, the duplicate kitchen items, the things kept out of habit or obligation rather than genuine use. Every one of these is a small tax on the time it takes to clean your home and on the clarity of the space you live in. Reduce what you own, and the cleaning becomes genuinely easier almost immediately. Tip number 5. Use a bin with a lid in the kitchen and empty it on a schedule. This one sounds too small to matter and matters more than it sounds. For years, I had a small open bin in my kitchen that I emptied every day or two, which was fine, but required daily attention and left odors and visual untidiness whenever I was in the kitchen. I replaced it with a larger bin with a tight-fitting lid, and I now empty it once a week on Thursday, which is the day I have designated for floors. The difference is immediate and visible. The kitchen looks cleaner when the bin is not visible. It smells cleaner when the odors from the bin are contained. And the time I used to spend making daily or every other day trips to the outside bin has been consolidated into one weekly task that takes 3 minutes and happens as part of the floor cleaning routine I am already doing. For a person living alone, the bin fills slowly enough that a weekly emptying is genuinely sufficient. The key is the lid. A lidded bin contains both the visual presence of the garbage and the odor, and the room benefits significantly from both of those containments. Please subscribe if you have not already. Every week I share what I've learned about maintaining a calm and clean home as a solo person at this stage of life, and I mean it when I say these conversations matter to me. Tip number 6. Clean during the moments you are already waiting. When I first heard this idea described as using your dead time, I was not sure it applied to me. I am retired. I am not waiting between work meetings or rushing between commitments. But when I actually paid attention to my day, I found that there were far more waiting moments than I had realized, and that each one was an opportunity to accomplish something small that would otherwise require its own separate time. The water heating for my tea in the morning is 2 minutes. During those 2 minutes, I wipe the kitchen counter. The washing machine cycle I've started is 40 minutes. During those 40 minutes, I vacuum one room. A phone call while pacing through the house is 15 minutes of potential tidying. The 5 minutes before a television program begins is enough to wipe the bathroom sink and mirror. None of these tasks take dedicated time when they are fitted into moments that already exist in my day. And collectively, across a week, they add up to a significant amount of maintenance that keeps the house at its good baseline without ever requiring me to find a separate block of time and make cleaning its own dedicated activity. The list of tasks that fit into 2 to 5 minutes of waiting time is longer than most people expect. Wiping a surface, emptying the dishwasher, rinsing the bathroom sink, folding laundry, sorting the mail. Each of these is small on its own. In aggregate, they are the daily maintenance of a home. Tell me in the comments, are there waiting moments in your day that you are currently not using for small home tasks? I am not suggesting that every moment of your day should be productive. Rest is important. But I find that most people have several natural pauses throughout the day that could effortlessly absorb small tasks they would otherwise have to schedule separately. Tip number 7, use a focused timer session once a week for the things that need more time. With daily maintenance happening through the week and small tasks fitted into waiting moments throughout each day, most of my home stays at a good level without any significant block of dedicated cleaning time. But there are still things that need more sustained attention. The bathroom needs a proper wipe down. The kitchen floor needs a real mop. The areas that accumulate slower forms of grime need to be addressed properly. For these, I use what I think of as a focus session. I set a timer for 30 minutes. I have a clear list of the specific things I'm going to address in that session, and I work through the list with real concentration until the timer goes off. Sometimes I finish before the timer. Sometimes the 30 minutes runs out and I add 5 more. But the timer is what makes this work because it gives the session a defined endpoint that makes it feel manageable before it begins. A 30-minute focus session once a week, combined with the daily small maintenance and the task per day schedule, is genuinely sufficient to keep a home lived in by one person clean and pleasant. This is significantly less than the Saturday morning marathon I used to spend, and the house is significantly cleaner than it was when I was spending all that time on it. The difference is consistency and structure, not volume of effort. Tip number 8. Use the closing ritual every evening to protect the next morning. This is the habit that ties everything else together. And it is the one I recommend most strongly to anyone who lives alone and wants to wake up to a home already in good shape. Every evening, before I go to bed, I spend 5 to 10 minutes doing the same set of things. I wipe the kitchen counter. I make sure the sink is empty. I put away anything that has drifted during the day. I do a quick visual pass through the main rooms, and I take a moment to set up anything the morning will need. The result is that I wake up every morning to a home that is already at its good baseline. The kitchen is ready to use. The surfaces are clear. There is nothing from yesterday requiring attention before today can begin. That clean start to the morning changes the entire tone of the day, and it compounds across the week into a home that maintains itself at a consistently good level, rather than drifting down toward the state it was in before I changed how I was managing it. Living alone means that the drift between maintenance and neglect happens slowly and quietly, without anyone else noticing it or prompting you to address it. The closing ritual is the mechanism I use to prevent that drift, to reset the home each evening so that the new day begins from the right place. It is the most important 10 minutes of my household routine, and I have never once regretted doing it. These 8 habits together have transformed my home from a place that required a significant effort each weekend to keep presentable into a place that maintains itself at a genuinely clean and pleasant level throughout the entire week. Not because I'm spending more time on it, because I'm spending the right time on the right things, in the right order, consistently rather than reactively. If there's one thing I want you to take from this, it is that keeping a clean home alone at this age is genuinely manageable. Not with heroic effort, not with professional help, not with sacrificing your weekends. With a little structure, a few good habits, and the understanding that small, consistent actions produce better results than large occasional ones. The home you want to live in is not out of reach. It is built 10 minutes at a time. I want to hear from you now. In the comments, tell me which of these 8 tips you're going to try first. Or if you already do some of these things, tell me what has made the biggest difference in how you manage your home alone. I read every single comment. And please subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. Every week I share honest, practical advice about living well and keeping a beautiful home at this stage of life for people who are doing it on their own and want to do it as effortlessly as possible. I will see you next week.